Hello, and welcome to Queen's Crafts by Bridget. I'm Bridget. Thank you for joining me today. Whether you're new here or you've been around since the very beginning, I truly appreciate you coming by and spending some time with me. If you're looking for me anywhere else on the internet, you can find me at my Facebook group page or my Instagram. Both are Queen's Crafts by Bridget. The Facebook is a group so that you may join. You have to fill out a couple non-invasive questions and agree to the group rules, and I will let you right in. Without you filling out those questions or agreeing to the rules, I'm sorry, I cannot admit you to the group. So please make sure that you fill those out. I also have a website and an email address. The website is queenscraftsbybridget.com, and my email is queenscraftsbybridget@yahoo.com. I don't have cauldron names for you today. However, I will be writing them down hopefully before you actually see this video, so I'm not sure why I'm talking about it. And getting those out to you very, very soon. I'm sorry I have fallen behind. I have been dealing with some things on the personal side, and it's been holding me back a little bit from my channel. I am sorry for that. I am feeling better now and getting over what has happened, and I will be back to my normal self as soon as I possibly can be. Today we have something a little different. I got an Amazon package today, quite a few Amazon packages today, well, Amazon and Walmart. I had to order some yarn to make the king a special blanket, so we'll be doing that together very, very soon. We'll be making a Gamecocks blanket. If you don't know what the Gamecocks are, they are a college football team, basketball team, college sports team. The king follows the football side of things. He is a very big fan, and he participates in news and whatnot, even in the off season. So it would make him happy to have a Gamecock blanket, even more so than the Lover's blanket. So, unfortunately, the Lover's blanket is going to sit on hold, and I'm going to work on the Gamecock's blanket for him because that's what he really wants, and I like to make it for him. Also, I am just about completed with the wizard from my Witchy Wednesday. Witchy Wednesday will no longer be a thing. However, I will still continue with all the patterns that I had lined up for Witchy Wednesday. However, those videos are not really being watched, so I'm just going to move and do something else. Frantic Friday will stay Frantic Friday, but instead of just being about my mosaics, it will be my weekly recap, what I have done that week in crafting, or what I've been frantically working on. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the changes, and please stick with me while I'm trying to still figure out what exactly works for me on this channel and what does not, because I want to bring you guys the very best content that I possibly can while also still enjoying what I'm doing, enjoying my makes, and really enjoying making the videos to send out to you guys. Lately, that has been a bit of a struggle for me, so we're going to make some changes so that hopefully that will improve. Now, for today's fun, one of the Amazon packages I got was actually a gift. It was opened when it arrived, so I just pulled the package out, not knowing what it was. And this is what it was. There was a gift receipt inside, and the gift receipt says, "Hi, Bridget. I hope you have fun putting this together. I just wanted to show my appreciation for your amazing generosity with sharing your talents and your awesome giveaways. I wanted to cheer you up, from Carrie A. Penderson." Thank you so much, Miss Carrie. And I am going to enjoy putting this together. In fact, I thought that we could put it together. I will set up my camera, and we will put this awesome little box together. I'm going to finish opening it here because I have not actually gotten into the box. It is sealed. I did have a few of these on my Amazon wish list because they did look like a lot of fun. I am very much into puzzles. What else? There we go. This is what we will be putting together. It is basically a room inside of a box that goes on your book nook. And this one is Magic Night Classic. So it will go through and show you all the different pages of pieces. And then step by step, it will show you what pieces you need to pop out and pop together to start building the objects that will go inside. And you'll keep going. This has, let's see, how many? 101 steps to complete this puzzle. Awesome. We are going to have a lot of fun with this. I hope that you enjoy watching me put this together. I'm going to go get this started. Until next time, I truly hope that you're crafting your happiness. Please do remember to smash that thumbs up if you haven't yet subscribed. And if you wouldn't mind sharing me out so more people can find me, that would be greatly appreciated.
They have spotted their suspect. Is he on foot? He's going in this bay right here. Yep, this gray truck right here. Hey, here he goes. He's going on Mount Vernon, going say southeast. Right, let's get ready to do the vehicle stop. It's on Mount Vernon. He's approaching the light now. There's 4 cars, 5 cars off. What's the make and model of the vehicle? Big gray. That's probably not the traffic light on Mount Vernon. I see it. At Florence Detention Center in Phoenix, Ice Officer Matt is visiting the staging area of the facility.
Behind me are stagers. They are folks that are arrived from all throughout the United States, either yesterday or earlier today. They are staging for a return flight that's leaving tomorrow morning. The folks that are in here now will be brought out shortly. The property will be returned to them. They'll be given an opportunity to speak with their consulates and or their attorneys to let them know what's going on and make any final arrangements they may need to make before departing the country. Once they're on the flight, they return to Guatemala. The other end, there are officials from the government of Guatemala that meet the aircraft. We call them off the plane. Those officials greet them, bring them into a reception area. In that reception area, they work with them to coordinate bus rides home to their communities and also to assist with medical care if need be. ICE is not going out looking for these people. We have our hands full with the majority of the criminal aliens that are out there committing crimes. We're working with the local authorities to pick them up out of county jails if they've been arrested for a variety of crimes, or we're working with the immigration courts for those who fail to show up for immigration proceedings and defy the judge's order to remove themselves from the United States. If they were to blend in society and not go out and commit crimes, 99% of the time we would never know they were here.
In Tucson, ICE Officer Pete is in position and standing by to make the arrest.
At 7 o'clock, we want to wait till the sun comes up a little bit. He's going to go ahead and attempt what I was talking about earlier, which is a knock and talk. And so all we're going to do is basically move up. It's going to be the fifth house in on the left in this cul-de-sac strip ahead. I had him have some brake lights just to wait for me to make sure that I'm ready before we start rolling up. I was 99% sure that was him right there, but I wasn't positive. So it's a good way to check. And it's 6:22 right now, so if nothing happens by 7, we're going to roll up and go ahead and attempt a knock and talk. And I'm not sure what tactic they're going to use, if they're going to try to ruse their way in, or if they're going to try to come, be direct with it, or what. So we'll see. We'll be successful. Honestly, I hope the guy gets in a car and drives somewhere before 7 o'clock, because that's always a lot better way to do it is in the street.
In San Diego, ICE Officer Jameson receives a call from one of his teams that they are about to arrest a suspect.
Right now we're going to head to one of the target addresses. This one actually has, I believe, arrests for domestic violence and some drugs. Arresting somebody. You good? This is
Officers question the man about what they found in his car, but he refuses to talk to them. Finally, he is led away in handcuffs to the waiting car.
So one of our targets this morning obviously came out from going to work, and they found him as he was starting to walk to the transit station. It was a quick arrest. His threat convictions, his prior removal from the United States. As I said, he has an order of deportation. Now he'll be taken into custody. He should already have most of his documentation already printed out for charging documents to be put in front of the immigration judge. He'll be transported back down to the San Diego field office for to be put into detention at no time. He'll end up seeing a judge in probably about a week, 2 weeks, and he'll be able to determine whether or not he's going to have any type of relief stay in the United States or it'll be removed immediately.
It's mealtime at the Otay Mesa facility in San Diego, California.
We feed over 1,100 ICE detainees every day, 3 times a day. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The food court is just a small window, so just enough to get your hands in the tray. They don't see who they're serving, so they don't see who's there, and they sign in, and the only time that they notice something different is when they have a different badge color or special diet, whether it's medical or religious. All of our religious diets are all authorized and approved by our chaplains in accordance with the religious requirements of the local governing bodies of each of the religious support groups. Here in San Diego, it's a kosher diet, a halal diet, or any of the other religious diets that we do offer as well. It could be a low-fat diet, it could be a diabetic diet. There's multiple reasons for whatever health reasons they are. Or they've been told by one of our medical providers at IHSC that they need a special diet. There's probably 50 work back here preparing each other, and it's the all-volunteer workforce. So everyone that's here is volunteer to work, and they're all being paid between $1 to $1.50 per day to help out work here. They get a little extra benefits, they get extra food, they get away from the ponds through the day as well. So when you're cooking for 1,100 people 3 times a day, it's always the best, but we have a lot of our senior staff here at the facility, they actually eat on a regular basis in here. I think after they'll grab a meal, they'll sit down with the detainees and eat. Cooking for 1,100 is tough, but it's decent. It's not bad at all.
ICE Officer Christine is inspecting the staging facility, the area used by detainees prior to their deportation.
Deportation is not a punitive measure. Deportation is a civil measure. So there are a couple of different bars that apply. It depends on how many times you've re-entered the country and what kind of removal order you have. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 20 years, could be a lifetime. They have family here, they have homes here, they have community here, and they're going to keep trying until they can get back and try to re-assimilate back into the community without being detected.
The inspection goes to the visitation area.
Nationalities vary. We have people here from over 49 different countries currently. Top 3 population is going to be Mexico, Guatemala, and India is going to be close third. Tomorrow there's a large flight to Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador going out. So we do have some females here in medical that are being screened for tomorrow's flight.
Detainees awaiting deportation receive full medical support with access to doctors, nurses, and rehabilitation programs. They also receive free dental care while in immigration custody. The U.S. authorities are keen to stress that these detainees are not prisoners, that immigration violation falls under a different category to those other people who commit criminal offenses in the United States. As such, detainees receive a high standard of medical, dental, and pharmaceutical care. Back in Newark, ICE agent Jose's team is about to take down a suspect.
Take it down, kid.
All right, there's the action. The guy's right there, so I'm gonna try to get up over these people.
As ICE officers confront the suspected illegal immigrant, the Guatemalan stands his ground. Officers state why they stopped the car and tell the suspect he is wanted by law enforcement. The suspect refuses to get out of the car and protests his innocence. determined to extract the suspect without involving the other people in the car. It's a standoff that ICE officers are keen to defuse before it escalates into a potentially dangerous situation.
All right, so we have finished our very first wooden puzzle book nook box, 3D puzzle box. This includes a lighting kit, which was all kinds of fun to bumble with. Now, it does work. I have put the lights in. So we have two light or white lights on the top. We have a green colored light in the back, and this blue light here in our cauldron on the floor. I believe that's what that's supposed to be, is a cauldron. Now it is a touch sensitive light, which is really awesome. This was so much fun to do. I hope that I get the chance to do a few more of them. I was very impressed. I can't tell you exactly how long it took me to do all this at this point, as the recording did go by a few. I had to stop and start a few times, but this was a one-night project. I see that I did make a mistake. I have the kitty in the wrong direction there, but that's okay. I mean, I can still tell that it's a kitty. And I do have one last thing to do, which is cut these books out and get them glued all together or taped all together, however I decide to stick them together. That is the only thing I have left to do in this whole entire kit, and I will get that done and place the book in place, or the books, I should say, in place as soon as I do have them done. Until next time, I truly hope that you are crafting your happiness. Bye for now, my friends.